Hey everybody, welcome to our live. We're so excited to see you. We're so excited to share this with you. We are going to share today what it looks like to be an influencer and who is an influencer and
as a Christian.
As a Christian, yeah. What you need.
And what an influencer isn't.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, can think of like the influencer as the person that they're not, and a person that they strive to be. So we just want to like put some definition to that, right?
Yeah. So when we think of influencers, especially in our media age that we have now, we think of people with a platform, with a big following, whether in real life, like a church or a ministry, or social media followers, and in the kingdom. Jesus said that even a cup of cold, giving a disciple a cup of cold water doesn't go overlooked by him. So I want to share a little bit of a story of like just some years ago, whenever I was working as a barista, my intent every day going to work and just being at work was just hosting God's presence and loving on people. And one day I got to work and my managers all came up to me and they're like, Monica, we had a woman call and email us yesterday about you. And I was like, oh, what did I do? And they're like, she said that you transformed her day around. You made her feel valued and welcome and loved and all of this stuff. And I had probably 3, maybe 4 managers tell me that. And they were really like, I don't know what you'd say that, but encouraging me. And the cool thing was that I wasn't doing anything like, I wasn't quote unquote sharing the gospel even. I was allowing people to encounter Jesus' love through me, just stewarding, like free of shame, being able to look people in the eye and let them know that they're valued and heard and loved and known. And that changed her day. That impacted her deeply. So it's not, you can see that making a difference in the kingdom and making a difference in the world doesn't have to be this grand thing. It's little acts of faithfulness and stewarding those.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of the story of the feast, when the man comes up and he just takes the nicest spot at the table, and then it says like, when you come to the feast, actually sit in a worse spot, because it would be terrible to think you're all this and then be demoted, rather than to humble yourself and sit in a lesser like chair and then be promoted. The kingdom is backwards. See, people, when Jesus came, and I think you guys would agree with me, he is the ultimate influencers. The Pharisees were like, this can't be Jesus. Like, Jesus is
a warrior.
Is a warrior. He's going to come and take down Rome.
Yeah.
And so they were expecting something different. Mm-hmm. And I think that's how influences are, actually, is that we take a back door. We take the back door to love people. And really the biggest influence you can ever make in this world. And if you have a great calling on your life, I would say, like, you can become that pastor, but and you can become that social media influencer.
Yeah.
But
and that's not even a great calling. That's just if that's what the Lord has for you. But
it starts with loving the person in front of you. So is it with great love now. Mm-hmm. Like now is the point, is flowing from that spirit-filled leadership, that spirit-filled, like, in your job. How are you treating your customers? How are you treating those that you work with? Because this is an important part. It's like the integrity. It's like changing people's lives.
And I also want to say that it doesn't just start in relationship, but it starts in the quiet place. So how are you when you're alone? Like, even the way that you treat yourself, or what you
That's
do
true.
whenever you're alone, is going to impact how you're able to love other people.
Wow.
So
That's another level right there.
whenever you're alone, what are you filling your time with? What are you filling your heart with, your mind with? Because that all will speak to how you will be able to go out and what you will overflow onto the world around you.
So Jesus, the one and only Jesus, not Jesus, your buddy. Anyways, Jesus, he lived till he was 30 years old as a carpenter, as studying the Bible, just an average Joe. His mom knew he was pretty special, and probably a lot of people still knew he was special already, but if you think about it, he lived 30 years of his life just an average Joe, just loving the person in front of him. And then in 3 years, he turned the world upside down with the same kind of love that an average Joe does. So think about that when you think about what's the thing I can do today to fulfill my calling.
Yeah, it's not this I love that God puts like big vision in our hearts and can give us just big dreams, but ultimately those don't exist if you don't have the day-to-day, if you don't have the mundane, the simple acts of I want to be faithful now. And honestly, that's going to bring you the most joy whenever you're present. You're present with the people around you. You're present with the Lord. You're hosting His presence. Whenever you're in that place, you are so filled with gratitude. We've both experienced this, but you just start like sharing God's heart with people without even realizing it. You just turn around, and I've had this before where I turn around and before I know it, I'm like sharing a word with a woman right in front of me. But I know that's the Father's heart.
Yeah.
He's really generous and He wants to share His love. But it begins with you. It begins in your heart. It begins in your quiet time.
Yeah. What are the people around you saying? Like, I've had coworkers start to gossip and say, "Oh yeah, Remy doesn't do that." Things like that. I mean, people see the light and they're ashamed by the darkness that they have, and it's not that Jesus brings the shame, but like we shine, we influence, and truly the most powerful thing you can do is bring the gospel, bring the good news of the gospel. So exciting.
And I just want to encourage you that no matter where you're at, no matter what platform you have, or the people in your life, you have something powerful to give every single person that you come into contact with. And it starts with the people that you come into contact with, that the people you're already in a relationship with. I believe that you simply genuinely asking someone how they're doing, and not just in formality of like, hey, how's it going, but like actually looking at them and asking them how they're doing can change someone's day around.
Right. So we wanted to just talk about what it looks like to be a Christian influencer. And I think we kind of hit every topic that we wanted to. I would challenge you to read the Beatitudes and look at what it looks like. What Jesus preached was blessed. Like, blessed are the fill in the blank. Read it and think about that. Wow. Okay. Because Jesus called the Pharisees whitewashed tombs. They look nice on the outside. They look clean. They say the right things. And that's the last thing you want to do, is look clean on the inside, but be rotting on the inside, like tombs. Because we're not out to look good. We're out to shine the light, the natural light that who is in us, the person of the Holy Spirit. Mm-hmm. So.
Oh, and I was just gonna add on top of that 1%. Okay, there's no condemnation if you're in a spot where you're still working through like stuff in your own heart, or you feel like you're not showing up in capacities that you would like to.
Yeah.
There's no condemnation. Actually, a way to navigate that, which we talk about in our guide and our intensive, is healing your heart and going to the root issue. God created you with needs, and when those go unmet, they become triggers and cause you to shut down. They cause you to put up self-protectors and defenses. And so whenever you're able to navigate that and bring healing into those places with the Lord, then you can walk in freedom and you can begin showing up powerfully in relationships, in life.
Yeah. So it doesn't look like being perfect. You have pain. Actually, the world could see your pain and struggle and still see the passion, see Jesus flowing right out of you, because how you struggle makes a difference too. Your genuine conversations, someone asks you, how are you doing? Actually saying, man, it's been a little bit crappy, but I know it's going to get better. God's always bringing me through it,
Yeah.
That shines more than anything than plastering a smile on your face. I just want to say that, because that's not what we're saying. We're saying, because that's called denial, is saying I'm okay when
you're not.
Life might suck, life might be really tough. And it's not Christian to say that it's not. Yeah. It's Christian to say,
I'm struggling.
to shine Jesus.
Yeah.
Onto that situation and say, show the world what it looks like to struggle with the Lord, to struggle with Holy Spirit in your life.
We're not void of pain. We're not void of hardship or temptation just because we're believers. But we have a comforter, and we have a promise that he'll go through that with us, and that we can rest in him. And we're also given community. We're given each other, and that's such a blessing. And don't undermine that. We need each other. We need relationship. And even in just being an influencer, we're never an island. The body is never an island. It's never about you or your ministry or your vision. Those things are valuable. You're valuable, but you actually need to be held and supported by other believers.
If you don't have a church, get a church. If you're not reading or learning from the Word, learning from God, start learning from the Word. Start letting God feed you. We're not an island, and we need help. We need other people that believe the same thing, right? It's really those things are really important. Jesus wasn't alone. He had the 12. He had his town. His mom was a huge fan of him.
Yeah. So we just want to bless you with that. We hope that you have an amazing rest of your morning, evening, afternoon, whenever you're watching this.
Please subscribe if you want to hear more videos like this. It's getting better and better every week, our quality. Thank you so much for watching. We love you guys. Subscribe, comment. We would love to hear your thoughts on this. And your questions, or if you're interested in hearing on a certain topic, please comment as well. We love you guys. And we'll talk to you soon.